So we've gotten pretty used to AI that can chat with us and create stuff, right? But what if? What if your AI could actually do the work for you? I mean, not just help you out, but take over an entire project from start to finish. Well, that's exactly the leap a company called Moonshot AI is making. And honestly, it might just change everything. No, seriously, just try to picture this for a second. You turn to your AI and you just say, hey, build me a marketing website for my new coffee brand. And that's it. You don't give it a bunch of step-by-step instructions, you just give it the goal. And then you can literally just walk away. When you come back, the site's built, the code is written, it's live. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the future we're stepping into right now. So meet OK Computer, the brand new agent from Moonshot AI. And yep, if that name rings a bell, it's because it is a direct nod to that legendary 1997 Radiohead album. And trust me, that is not a random choice. It's a super deliberate one, and as we're about to find out, it is packed with a ton of meaning. Okay, so to really get why this is such a massive deal, we've got to talk about a really fundamental shift that's happening here. We are officially moving beyond the era of the AI assistant and into the brand new territory of the AI agent. Now, I know they sound kind of similar, but the difference between them, it's absolutely huge. Here's the simplest way to think about it. An assistant answers you. An agent acts for you. It's not just about generating some text or an image. No, an agent can actually operate tools, it can make its own decisions, and solve problems all by itself in its own digital space, all without you having to micromanage every single little step. The real magic here is that OK Computer gets its own workspace. The best way to picture it is like giving your AI its own digital desktop. Seriously, it can open a web browser, it can manage files, it can write and even debug code, it can install software. This isn't just another chatbot, you guys. This is a full-on digital worker with its own toolkit. All right, so it's a digital worker with its own desktop. Cool, but what can it actually do? Well, the list of capabilities is, honestly, it's pretty staggering. We're talking about tasks that would normally take an entire team of human experts to pull off. Just look at this range of skills. This is not some specialized tool that just does one thing well. We're talking about an agent that can handle full-stack web development, dive deep into data analysis, and generate creative content. And here's the kicker. It does all this by using the very same tools a human would, managing the whole project completely on its own, from A to Z. Okay, let's just zoom in on one of those for a second. Data analysis. Get this. OK Computer can chew through and analyze data sets with up to 1 million rows. And it doesn't just spit back a bunch of numbers at you. No, it builds interactive dashboards and actually explains the insights it finds. For anyone who works with data, you know this is an absolute game changer. So what does this autonomous workflow actually look like in the real world? Let's say you give it a super simple prompt, like create a personal portfolio website for me. Normally, an AI would come back with 1 million questions, right? Not this one. It just takes the initiative. It goes out, does the research, generates the images and text, writes all the code, and then delivers a completely finished product, following a logical plan that it came up with all by itself. All right, let's circle back to that name, OK Computer. I told you it wasn't random, right? This goes way beyond clever branding. It's a really deep and intentional reference that puts this whole technology into a fascinating and, frankly, slightly unnerving cultural context. Just take a look at this timeline. Back in 1997, Radiohead drops this classic album that was pretty much a warning sign about a future filled with tech alienation and automation. Now, let's fast forward to today. A company has gone and built a literal autonomous agent, and they named it the exact same thing. The irony is just, wow. This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's poetic, for sure, connecting this piece of art with a piece of tech across decades. But it's also kind of eerie. That dystopian future that artists were warning us about, it's starting to look a whole lot like our present day. And it seems like Moonshot AI is just leaning right into that idea. Now, of course, Moonshot AI isn't the only one in this game, but with this launch, they've basically catapulted themselves to the very front of what is a global race, a race to build the first true general-purpose AI agent. This is the new frontier. This is what all the big AI labs are chasing right now. So how does OK Computer stack up against the competition? I mean, you've got OpenAI and Anthropic, and they both have their own agent-like features. But a lot of those feel more focused on smaller, kind of experimental tasks, like running little bits of code. Moonshot's approach just feels different. It's built from the ground up for full end-to-end project deployment. And that makes it feel way closer to a real finished product you could actually use today. So let's pull back for a second and look at the big picture. What's the real impact of all this? This isn't just some cool new feature in an app. This technology is poised to completely redefine our relationship with work itself. We're moving from a world where we use AI as a tool to one where we work with it as a colleague. And that right there is the fundamental shift. For so long, AI has just been a tool, right? It just sits there and waits for you to tell it what to do. But OK Computer, it acts more like a colleague. It won't just summarize the data you hand it. It'll go out and find new insights you didn't even know were there. It won't just help you brainstorm ideas. It'll actually execute them from start to finish. If there's one thing you take away from all this, it's this. The line between the user and the tool is completely blurring. AI is no longer just a tool we use. It's becoming a colleague we collaborate with. We're not just operating AI anymore. We're starting to actually work with it, side by side, on really complex stuff. Which, of course, leaves us with one last big question. A technology like this is a huge leap forward. The potential is absolutely incredible. But it also brings us face to face with that future we've only ever read about in sci-fi books or, heard about in a Radiohead song. So the question is, are we ready for the machines to finally look at us and say, "Okay, human, I've got this"?